Hey guys, welcome back to Harry Howard Talks. Harry Howard is me in the studio, but we also have James Guay. He's a psychotherapist. His practice is in West Hollywood.
It is, yes, right on the Sunset Plaza.
Right there, right in the mecca of it all.
Right in the heart of it all.
Right in the heart, the trendy heart of it all. Yeah, and your website, Living More Fully, which is a lot about just who you are inside. You try to help people be their best selves and not let others judge how they should be. I feel like that's a huge thing for you.
Absolutely. Well stated. Yeah, it's all about sort of when we live life from a more authentic place, we just enjoy it more, right? A more compassionate place for ourselves, for others. That is sort of the antidote to the world we live in. Hence, the title of my website, livingmorefully.com. And
would you say your main skill is you help people recover from homophobic environments growing up? Is that a lot of it? Or dealing with people who are homophobic, or just being gay, you're helping people deal with that? Because it's not easy. I mean, being, not that it's worse, but it's it's a judgmental society that we're in.
Exactly. Society sort of judges those of us that are sexual and gender minorities. So yeah, I would say my practice over the last 20 plus years has been at least 50, if not more percent, LGBTQ focused. But even those that are straight or cisgender, right? We all grow up in environments sometimes where who we are naturally, organically, isn't always appreciated. So whether it's based on, experiences of racism or, homophobia, like you said, transphobia, biphobia, ageism, sexism, right? It's about recognizing how we've been affected by those systems of oppression. And again, living life from that place, healing, growing, being able to navigate our environment when we get that kind of hate from the outside.
There's a lot of hate out there.
There is. You
gotta get rid of that noise.
Exactly. That's a great term for it, actually.
Right? It's a noise.
Really feel like you're in this bubble where it's hard to
just
be
negative energy.
Real. Exactly.
Yeah, and you've really had a huge influence, like even on Congress with the Senate for that bill. It is you wanted to get rid of to ban conversion therapy.
Correct. Yes. It's part of what I think it means to be a modern therapist is really to do social justice work and advocacy for our clients when they may not have the platform or the ability to do so. So, it's been a huge mission of mine these last 10 years or so to educate the public, to, provide information, to advocate. I went to the state capitol. California was the first state in the country to ban conversion therapy on minors from licensed clinicians. So I was happy to be asked to show up and testify. And part of it is coming from my own personal experience of having gone through conversion therapy and recognizing the damage that did, and then having to sort of undo that damage.
Yeah, it doesn't work because, I mean, you're trying to argue against nature.
Yeah, pretty much.
They think that nurture will overcome nature, but it's just genetic. It's it is what it is, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's just societal norms.
Diversity, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's just societal norms.
Yeah.
And it's old-fashioned to think that conversion therapy will work, considering.
Yeah, and all the mental health associations, all the legitimate ones, have come out demonstratively against conversion therapy. So, it's about educating parents who hold certain, views or are concerned about their children that this actually does more harm than good.
It does. So. Is it a lot of people who are religious extremists who really believe in conversion therapy? Is that
Well, it often is more popular among people with fundamentalist sort of thinking and ideals, the black or white, who see sort of, again, this gender and sexual diversity from a lens that it's sinful or pathological or those kinds of things. But again, I disagree with that vantage point, obviously.
I mean, I do. It doesn't even make sense.
I know, right?
Even from a scientific standpoint, what is this conversion therapy?
It's not scientific.
It's not.
Yeah, it's pseudoscience.
It's pseudoscience.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not even fake enough to be pseudo. It's beyond.
Right. But I love the work that I do. Sometimes I refer to it as sort of like being intimate for a living, because in order for my clients to let down, to be vulnerable, I have to do that myself because it's a soul-to-soul process, right?
Yeah, and you said, from what I read about you, one of your main focuses is using compassion to help grow.
Yeah. I would say two wings of the bird to let us fly
Yes.
is mindfulness with compassion. So it's about being present, about being non-judgmental and curious about whatever material is there, even stuff we don't like, and infusing some compassion, some care, some mindful attention to whatever is going on there for us.
Got it. And being compassionate is not only being compassionate to others, but it's being compassionate to yourself.
That's where it starts.
That's where it starts, right?
Yeah.
Before you can help anyone, you have to help yourself first.
It's like, they talk about core strength in personal training and that stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like when we have a good relationship with ourselves, when we befriend ourselves, that's the core strength that it takes to have healthy, enjoyable relationships and to function at our best, right? It all comes from that core.
The inner core, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mindset.
Exactly.
I think that's everything is mindset.
Mindset and heart and soul, all of it sort of connected together.
All connected at once. You become this like super positive being.
Let's hope.
You've seen the light. Seems like you are doing a lot of the right things.
Thank you. Yeah,
and you're teaching a lot.
Sometimes we teach what we've learned or we teach what we need to learn.
Exactly.
As the case may be.
Yeah.
We're all in this together, so we're mirrors of each other. But yeah, absolutely. I've seen in my own life and the lives of my clients how effective, how useful, how potent mindfulness with compassion really is. So.
And this helps a lot with relationships, your teachings, right? A lot with marriages. You help.
Absolutely.
That's a huge.
Mm-hmm.
Because after the honeymoon stage is over, then you're just living.
You're left with your own baggage and material, and
your own roommate and everything.
Yeah, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. That's the title of my license. So it's all through. We see psychotherapy happening through a relational lens, which means that it's a relationship with ourselves, relationship with others. And sort of the more that we are noticing, some of how we're activated in the present based on our history and, using the relationship to heal some of those wounds, to deepen our understanding of ourselves and each other, the more we can enjoy those relationships.
Yeah, I know. It all starts with yourself.
Totally.
Because people are always chasing the thing that they don't have, and that's where you lose, because you already have to believe you have it, and then trust that the rest will come.
Right. It's like they say,
hard that
be
is
the friend
to do.
you want to have.
To be honest, I don't really follow that. I mean, I can preach it, right? But I want certain things now, and I don't even care if I'm not ready.
Totally. Well, we're all on a journey. It's a process,
we're all on a journey, right?
So it's sort of like that 12-step saying, progress, not perfection.
Exactly. and you've spoke on Fox News, CBS News, the Oprah Winfrey Network.
Right.
You obviously know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, you really do. You have it down. You've been doing this for a long time, and you've also, I feel like you've been like a lot of your patients before you became who you are. Is that what really influenced you to do this? Because you were once that person coming to see you.
Yeah, I've both experienced like the dangers of what psychotherapy can be, and also the brilliance of it as well, right? So it's, I think of it as, I love what I do in the office, one-on-one or with couples. And I love being able to extend that message to a larger community, right? So it's all about, my mission in life is, I know it sounds cheesy, but it's all about spreading more love and compassion in the world, right? In the ways that we're talking about.
I don't think it sounds cheesy. I think that's what we need, because a lot of people don't say that.
Exactly. Yeah.
We need more people like you.
Well, it sounds like I'm preaching to the choir here. It resonates for you as well.
Oh yeah, well they need more people like us.
There you go.
Because I want to spread the love to the world.
Right?
Yeah.
Through comedy or whatever else.
Yeah.
Through these talk shows, right?
Yeah. Through the talk. Yeah. We're spreading it. This is all good vibes. This is a source of energy to help change the world.
Totally.
Definitely changing West Hollywood.
There you go.
Yeah.
Got to start local,
there. Yeah,
right?
I got to start local there. My ego.
Spread it out.
I know. I'm already like getting into the universe now. I'm not that amazing yet.
Well,
And so you've been such a huge social advocate on the LGBTQ community. I feel like you're one of the reasons why it has progressed in such a positive way.
Oh, that's very sweet. Yeah, I was approached by this law firm that wanted to sort of submit a brief for the Supreme Court with marriage and family equality, and I was like, yes, use my history. I'm happy to advocate for marriage and family equality. This is really important stuff. So to be able to have that to affect that kind of change just feels like it just resonates with my core mission. It feels really good. So
must feel great because you're helping progress the world and helping its values.
Yeah.
Because I know it wasn't easy for you growing up, and
right.
to see the social change,
Yeah,
it must be remarkable in its own way to see how far the community has grown.
It makes me very hopeful. Yeah.
Yes, right?
Right.
Hope.
Yes. It's funny, in undergrad, I took this wilderness survival class, and I remember the professor saying something to students who were like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on in the world. I don't know where to start. I feel overwhelmed. It's depressing. And his message was, pick one thing, one area that it speaks to you, that feels like it's just who you are, and go with that. If we all do that, we can affect an immense amount of change in the world.
Wow.
I believe in what I'm talking about.
No,
here.
I believe it. Yeah, it's just inspiring. Yeah. And then you're also an advocate for hashtag Born Perfect.
Yes. I was asked to co-chair the Born Perfect campaign. It's part of the National Center for Lesbian Rights, and it was their campaign to end conversion therapy in the U.S. On minors and hopefully adults as well, because it affects adults as well as minors. So.
Well, conversion therapy was a big thing.
Yeah.
Now it's
right.
Now it's minimized like crazy, right?
Well, it's interesting. It's gotten a lot more publicity. There were just 2 films that came out last year about it, 2 like blockbuster films, like large films. But when I was sort of starting my practice 20 years ago or so, and looking at marketing and who I wanted to reach and all this, people within the LGBTQ community didn't really know that it continued to exist. They didn't even know what it meant. So the fact that we have such a dramatic shift in awareness of what it is, I rarely have to describe what it is anymore.
No.
So public education is happening. It's fantastic. So, and, again, like part of what I do is what they refer to as LGBTQ affirmative psychotherapy, where it's no longer cool for us to be like blank slate therapists. We need to like show up as our full self.
Yes.
and validate our clients' experiences.
Yeah,
right?
No more just having the client lie on the couch, down. You taking notes. That's interesting.
Right.
Oh, wow. Here's a prescription.
Totally.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, now it's become, I don't know, I feel like it's like a trend now. You know what I mean? Like being like, there's so many different types of therapy now.
Yeah, there really are.
But you studied at San Francisco State and Berkeley.
Yes, I went to UC Berkeley, got my psychology degree, was on the Berkeley gymnastics team there. That was fun.
Oh,
Go Bears.
Go. Nice.
And I got my Master's of Science in Counseling at San Francisco State. Yeah, so it's been a lifelong, career for me. Sometimes people start out late in life, but it's sort of from the get-go. It's like, okay, a bunch of my friends would come to me for extra support and felt like they could be vulnerable, and it just felt like this natural skill set. Sometimes I say my superpower is empathy.
Empathy.
Right? Just being able to connect and really genuinely care about another's experience. So.
You have to have empathy in this world.
It's useful.
Yes.
It's a skill set. It's how we're going to do it all together.
And you teach all these things with your clients.
I do, yeah. And, a large majority of my clients are really successful. They, are high achievers, but oftentimes they do it from this felt sense of deficit, like this fear of failure, sometimes a felt sense of like self-doubt, inadequacy. And so through therapy, one of the things that inspires me is really helping encourage clients to still, pursue excellence. Fine, great, right? Go for it. But just do it from a place of greater self-compassion. It makes the world of difference. So.
Compassion.
Yep.
And you think, does all your therapy, does it start with there? Is compassion your main?
Yeah.
That's the main thing you focus on?
I would say that, yeah, both, again, the mindfulness with compassion, they're just integrating those two things. When we're present, when we approach whatever's going on for us from a place of curiosity, maybe a little bit of objectivity if we're too in it, and we infuse some care, some love, some attention. It's amazing the kind of transformations that can happen from that place. But it's not what we get told growing up. It's not what we get encouraged to do with ourselves or other people. So it's, as simple as it sounds, when you have a track record of years and years and years of being judgmental of ourselves or critical, it takes a good amount of time to shift that, right?
I know, and it's so easy to judge yourself, and it's so easy to get angry at yourself more than it is at anybody else.
Yep. And again, I know this well, right? This is my lived experience.
This is your living experience. Yeah,
I wanted to be a perfect Christian. I wanted to be a perfect gymnast, get that score of 10, so it's through my own internal work, through my own therapy, through my own education, through getting licensed, I've been able to find ways that have not only helped me, but also, helped clients that I work with, so, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of it is also helping people with their confidence, right? Mm-hmm. Helping them really be happy with who they are and understand who they are.
Yeah.
And would you say a lot of patients who originally come in, a lot of them are lacking a lot of that self-confidence?
Yeah, I would say so. It's, when we don't get the core message that who we are, just being, is of value and worth, regardless of what we produce, regardless of what we say or don't do, that we all have inherent worth and value, then yeah, we sort of learn how to try and seek love and gain attention and put up some walls and defenses to try and survive and thrive as much as we can, given, that lack of felt sense of worth and value, right? So it's, this doing our internal work, whether that's through therapy or yoga, meditation, whatever it happens to be, right, it just makes a dramatic impact on our lives.
Well, you're making a dramatic impact on all the viewers.
I appreciate it. I hope so.
Yes.
I want to encourage that.
Yes, you will. It is. Well, you made a dramatic impact on my life.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
Because it reminds me that I need to follow these steps to achieving full growth and happiness.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it sounds like you do that in the world. Humor is a great way.
Exactly. Do you think it'll help me physically grow besides mentally, like add a couple inches?
Oh, I'm not thinking so.
All right.
But
fine.
maybe help you accept your height as it is.
Yes. Yeah, accept me for who I am
and
inside.
Appreciate it. There you go.
James, I'm so happy that you came on.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here.
I know it went by really fast.
It did. Yeah.
It did.
It's fun.
It was fun, right?
Yeah.
Life is fun. Listen to James.
Yeah.
He's teaching us all to have fun in life. Accept who you are.
There you go.
Yeah. James Guay, big advocate in the LGBTQ community, psychotherapist, book a session. This is not an infomercial and advertisement. I just want to make my guests succeed.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching Harry Howard Talks.